Hello, gorgeous girls and beautiful boys, men and women. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome. I hope you are dancing as I'm singing. Hi, my name is Temi Kolayo and I am a product manager. What do we do here? So I created this channel to assist newbie product managers. So if you are transitioning into product management, you have decided that this is where you want to go. I created this channel for you to assist you to hold your hand as we transition together into product management. And if you're an experienced product manager, do not leave us, do not forsake us. You can share tips with us if there are some things that you want to talk about. Probably just very some comments that you feel will assist us, will help us. You can always drop it in the comment section. Now let's learn together, let's grow together. So that is why we are here. How was your week? My week was filled with activities, but it was eventful and it was stressful, but I think I like it. Sha. I like it. Yeah, I like it. It was good. We do not complain. So yeah, that was this week. All right. So what are we talking about today? We are talking about this person. No, no, it's not about me. It's not me. I don't even know what to say about me. But we are talking about user personal, user personal. You know, everybody in product management, we do a lot of user personal. Like you want to create a feature and you are thinking of, okay, so who is this feature? Who are the users? Those are user personal. Let's say you have friends and somebody, a stranger just come and say, I want to meet your friend, but I don't know how to go and talk to them. Can you just give me like a summary of who they are? Is that stuff that your friend wants to do? That's your user persona. That thing that they want to say, that babe, that gay, those are your user persona. They can be translated into user persona. So you know, they are fictional characters that every product team creates and they promptly ignores. I'm going to come back to the fictional character. They are not meant to be fictional characters. They are meant to be real life users. But oftentimes we just create them off the top of our head. Do you get? We don't do research, but we are going to get into it. So let's use an example. Meet Cynthia. Cynthia is 28. She's a creative professional who enjoys artisanal coffee and Afrobeat records. We do with a boss brain, but she values authenticity and seamless experiences. That is a user persona. But you know what? If I had $1 for every time our persona looked like that, I could afford shawarma and vanilla flavor smoothie in Lagos. I would just go to all those shops, shut down. Tell me want to buy. You shut down. Everywhere, shut down. Tell me want to come and, come and spend our money. But here's the thing, user personnel should be powerful tools that guide your product decision. The problem isn't the personnel themselves. It's that most teams are doing them completely wrong. Guilty. You know, we just want to quickly create it now. We can't go to the feed and start asking users. That's completely wrong. By the end of this video, you know how to create personas that your team will actually use instead of just nodding politely and forgetting about. Let's create personas that don't suck. True? Let's do it. Now, the first thing I want you to understand is why most personas are useless. Let's be honest about why most personas end up as pretty PDFs that nobody references. The first problem is that they are based on assumptions, not research. You know, I said it's they are just fictional characters, right? We just assume that those are our users. We don't do research. Too many personas are just educated guesses, or worse, they are based on what we wish our users were like instead of who they actually are. And when you ask us, where do you get this thing from? You say, I don't feel lie you. That's your source. I cannot give you lie. I feel lie for you. Those are sources, but they are not research. They are just assumptions. Now, the second problem is that they focus on demographics, not behavior. Most user persona, when you see it, you see age, you see demographics. Now, behavior, sometimes they are missing out of the document. So you knowing someone's age, their location, and job title really tells you what they need from your product. Two 35-year-old marketing managers can have completely different goals and pain points, but they are both marketing managers, right? They are both in the same organization, but they might just have different goals and pain points. Now, the third problem is they are too perfect. Have you met humans? Are we perfect? But when you see our user persona, oh lordy, they are so perfect. They are angels. They are too perfect. Real users are messy. They are very. Have you gone out to go and do user research before? Oh lordy, they are very real users. They are messy. They have contradictions. They have irrational behaviors and quirks that glossy personas often ignore. But when you see our persona like this, you'll be like, oh, this is perfect. Now, if you have a perfect user persona, why do you still need to build that application? That means that nobody needs to use the application now. Everybody is perfect. Nobody has problems. So why do we want to build that application? What are we trying to solve? Solve problem for people that are perfect. Hello? So it doesn't make any sense. Now, there is this thing that happened. A friend actually shared this with me. She said at her last company, they spend week they spend week creating beautiful personas. They add stock photos, elaborate backstories, even favorite quotes. Have you seen some user personas that the design team even printed them on foam board and hung them on the wall? Now she said 6 months later, she asked the team on basic facts about those personas, and nobody remembered anything except the one with the dog and the one who looked like Dave from accounting. They just remember, there was this one that we created and we put the dog beside the person. Those were it. All of that work and the only memorable things were completely irrelevant to our product decisions. That is it. Now, so how do we fix this? Let's talk about creating personas that actually drive true decisions. This other part is research. Now, I'm always talking about research and data. I told you to molecular data. So we are talking about research, the non-negotiable foundation. It is you cannot even negotiate it. The great personal start with actual research, not optional, not if we have time. It must be necessary. You must create time. You must. It is absolutely necessary. So these are like valuable or minimum viable research you need. You need to do qualitative interviews. Qualitative interviews. That's like one-on-one talking to your users and all of that. So you need to talk to at least 5 to 8 users per personal group. Do you get? And I don't mean sales call, customer success check. How are you doing with our application today? I hope you are not having issues. Those are good, but sometimes you need to have like a face-to-face interaction with them. So I mean dedicated conversations about their goals and motivation, frustrations and pain points, workflow and processes, decision-making factors. And also, let me say something. You should record these interviews. And the reason why I need you to record them is because you need to get the exact language users use. It is good for your personality. So sometimes the non-verbal sign that they show will help you to understand what is really going on in their mind. Sometimes they might just look at your application and like, maybe you put one question in that questionnaire and you're like, they are squeezing face. With that, their facial expression, you could go and meet them that, is it like you don't understand this? You get, it is qualitative analysis. Now, the second part is quantitative data. You need to supplement your interviews with usage analytics, survey data, support ticket analysis, social media conversations. There are times that I've seen things being said about my friend's application, and I'll just take that. I'll share the link. Probably it's on X. I'm just going to share the link. Did I just say X? I think it's still Twitter. I'll just share the link with my friend and be like, oh, guy, this is what people are saying about your application. Those are quantitative data. Now, the third part is field studies. If possible, you should do field studies. And I feel like it's possible now. It is now. Nothing beats watching users in their natural habitat. Like, you will see users and they will just be like, when you call them, they'll say, I filled it, we filled the questionnaire, we filled everything. But then when you are with them, you see their pain points, you understand their frustration. There is the day that I actually shadowed the users at a construction site. This was even outside my PM role. But what I discovered, I actually followed a friend to the construction site and I was able to like shadow what the users were doing. And this was what we discovered. They were using the app in full sunlight. They wore work gloves and often with dirty hands. So now the delicate UI with low contrast text and tiny buttons were basically unable to they were not able to use them. That was just it. Because reason is because they were under the sun. They could not even see what they were trying to do. One. Secondly, their hands were dirty and they had stains on the screen. Now, if they try to scroll, it is not scrolling. Now, the feedback they will give to you is that your application, we cannot even scroll, we can't navigate. But it is because of the stain on your screen. That is why the screen is not moving. They don't understand that. So no amount of demographic data would have revealed that insight. It is behavioral data that we need. So I know what you are thinking. I don't have time for all of this research now. Who will be talking to? But you are building products for people that you don't know, Abby. Who will use it? You and your friends. So you can't do that. You need to make time, my darling. You need to make time. So building features for personnel that don't reflect reality is the bigger waste of time. You will go back. You will keep going back to come out to go and correct it. You will keep going. So that if you like build it, don't involve your users. Well, your application you do like this, we just collapse. So the third part we need to talk about is behaviors over demographics. You know, I mentioned it earlier. It's not just the demographics. It's not just where they are, their age gap or all of those things. You need to consider it is very, very important. You put it in consideration, their behavior. So the secret to useful personnel is that they focus on behaviors and need, not demographic details. So we are going to have usually useless and actually useful. Now, under the usually useless, you see something like age, unless truly relevant. You see exact job title, you see income, you see relationship status, you see hobbies unrelated to your products. Those are not useful. Now, let's look at the one that are actually useful. We look at gain, goals and motivations. We look at pain points and frustrations. We look at decision making process, technical comfort level, environmental context, risk tolerance, and we look at success metrics. Those are the things that you need to focus on, not these ones. Do we understand? Now, let's look at these two approaches. We have traditional personnel and we have the behavioral personnel. Now, the traditional personnel, let's meet Fergie, a marketing guru. She's 28. She's a marketing manager at a mid-sized company. She has an MBA. She lives in Lagos, Nigeria with a golden retriever, and she enjoys yoga and travel. Fergie has been going to the gym lately. I'm raising cap for you. She a gym body. Now let's look at behavioral personnel. We have marketing woman. She spends 40% of her day in meetings and has 15 minutes blocks to make decisions. She's evaluated by lead generation metrics. She's comfortable with basic data but gets anxious about complex analytics, and she uses her phone to check dashboard between meetings. So now, out of these two scenarios, which one actually help you design a better product? Is it this one that just like to do yoga, she has an MBA, this, or this one that breaks down what our pain points, our goals and motivations, everything that captures everything? So which one are we going to pick, this or this? For me, I'm going to the right, to the right, to the right. This is where I'm going. Now, the fourth part is that the personal template that actually works. So let's look at personal templates that works. So let's build this personal template that you can actually always reference. They should include one, a memorable name and quick summary. I've used Cynthia, I've used Fergie, I've used Wumi. Those are names that you would definitely remember. You can even pick names of your team members. Let's say you have somebody on your team member that is Godwin, you have Temi Jokpelo, you have Testofumi. Put their name, developer Temi Jokpelo, designer Inkem. Like, do things like that. Do you understand? So alliteration help people remember. That is something I've come to understand. It helps you remember. For example, I can just say, oh, developer Farouk. I know that this is the person that this thing is attached to. So one line summary of their primary goal, you have that already. Then behavioral patterns, how they currently solve the problem your product addresses, their workflow and process, frequency and context of use. You are able to capture that. The third thing, pain points and motivations. I hope this is not too much. You need to understand their pain points and motivation. You need to rank them by importance. You need to also include actual code from user research. The fourth one is success metrics. How do you measure success? How do these users, now that they are using your application, how do you measure success? Retention rates, how do you want to measure that? So you are able to like capture all of those metrics. What make them look good to their boss? Those are the things you want to capture. Now you want to look at technical context, devices and environments. What type of device are they using? This person uses a Samsung device. This person uses an iPhone. This person is just always on their laptop. What type of laptop? You also want to consider those things. And technical comfort level. This person, is it that they like technology? They are very vast when it comes to technology. This person, is it that they are just adapting to those changes? You need to understand all of those technical contexts. Other tools in their workflow. Okay, is it just Microsoft Word they use? This person, did they use Google Docs? Like, you need to compare all of those things. Their decision factors, what convinces them to buy or use a product. Is it just like me that I just feel like it's nice, I like the color, that's why I bought it? I feel like I just like the gown. It's very nice. Is it? I will not wear it, but I will buy it. Like, you need to understand what convinces people to buy or use a product, what influences their decision. Is it because they just say pakam alert credit and they want to go and ball, or they are like some of us that when we see credit we are already thinking of, I need to save for rainy days, even though the sun in Lagos, but we still need to save for the raining days. So you need to understand all of that. Can you notice what is missing? Elaborate backstories. We are not talking about favorite brands and other fluff that doesn't impact product decisions. We are concentrating on what really matters. So there is this personnel that we had to redesign using these templates, and this is what happened. Developers started referencing them in planning meetings. So they will say things like, I don't think developer Farouk would understand this error message, or this workflow is too complex for designer in Kim's context. Like, everybody started putting themselves in the picture, and it makes it fun. We even sometimes you might even make jest of each other, like developer, you that you don't you get, because you make it feel very personal. That's it. So now they become shorthand for user needs rather than decorations on the wall. We don't just have them on our sticky boards. We want to leave them. So that is the whole idea. Now, making personas actually useful. Creating great personas is only half the battle. The real challenge is making them part of your team's decision-making process. So how do we make this persona stick? Less is more. I don't like too complex thing. Very short and straight to the point. So less is more. Limit it to 3 to 4 primary personas. Each should be distinctly different from the others. If you have like 12 personas, are you sure you can actually cover 12 personas? Are you sure? So I feel like you just limit it to 3 to 4 primary personas. Then the next thing is make them visually distinct. Use different colors consistently so that you don't get confused. If you use purple for everybody, you can't even differentiate. So you can just color code them, make them look distinct. Simple icon work better than stock photos. I'm not saying stock photos are wrong, but sometimes you can just use icon, play with these things. Remember, the blue persona or the star persona, those are the things that you want to check out. You also need to create personnel based scenarios, write specific user stories for each persona. When situation happens, persona needs to accomplish goal. That is a user story, and use them in meetings. Start design discussion with, which persona is this for? Who is this person we are talking about? Is it Farouk? Is it Nkem? Is it Fegi? Is it Wumi? Like, let everybody feel like they are also part of that thing. Do you get? Evaluate feature ideas against personnel needs. Have team members role play as this one. I like it when they role play as personas. I like it so much. And the 15 is keep them visible. Digital personas in your product management tool, physical versions in team spaces, quick reference version. Shouldn't too much. One pagers. That's all. And the ultimate test of a good persona is the random feature test. Random feature test. Like, we want to pick this persona, right? We now want to test it against what we have developed. Simple. So next time someone suggests a random feature, ask them which persona would benefit. Is it Dave? Is it Fegi? Is it Cynthia? If they can't answer, either the feature is unnecessary or your personnel need work. That is probably they've not taken it in. Do you understand? So now let's look at some real life or real world examples. I'm going to give you like some examples so we can just play around it. So here is B2B SaaS dashboard. Let's look at our traditional approach, the one that we are always using, the one that we are used to. Business users age 30 to 45 who want this data visualization. What we will do is that we will build a complex dashboard with every possible chart and filter. We'll just put dashboard there, put filter by date, by location, by this, by that. That is what will be there. But now let's look at the behavioral personal approach. We have operations manager who check metrics between meetings on mobile devices. Now, the result is simple dashboard with key metrics optimized for quick scanning on small screens. You know the device your users are using. Like, this is 100% of what they use, and that is what you want to build for. You can do mobile responsiveness, but at the core, at the locus, you know that this is what your users are using. Now let's look at one that is really like is what we do every time. Let's look at e-commerce checkout. You want to create like a checkout feature on your e-commerce application. So traditional personal approach will look like millennial online shoppers who value convenience. Now, the result is social media integration and loyalty programs. Is that really what they want? Does that translate to what the users want? I don't think so. So now let's look at behavioral personal approach. Repeat purchasers who order on lunch breaks and are concerned about shipping speed. Captures the time, captures who the users are, and captures what the frustration is. Now, the result is one click reordering and prominent delivery time estimates. You solve that. Now, in there was something that happened, right? We had a feature that was a complete flop with users. So when we revisited our personas and actually talked to user, we discovered that we built it for an imaginary problem that our real users did not have. Yes, that was what we did. We just assumed that this was it. So we decided to build that feature, but that was not the real problem that the users add. So what we did rather is after rebuilding it based on behavioral insights, usage increased by 400%. The feature wasn't wrong. Our understanding of the users was. That was what was wrong with that application. It wasn't just the feature that was wrong. The feature was not even wrong. It was just the imaginary, the fictional characters that we built for. That was wrong. So now great personas are not about creating fictional characters. They are about understanding real human behaviors and needs, then translating them into tools that help our team make better decisions. Simple. So what have you learned in class today? One, base personas on actual research, not assumption. I don't feel like you cannot be your source. Hello? It cannot be your source. Second thing we learned is focus on behaviors and needs, not demographics, not just demographics. You need to understand pains and frustration. You need to understand goals and motivations. Then the third thing we talk about is include only information that impacts product decision. The dog that you put in that user persona, what is it going to do in your decision making? Nothing. The dog is not the person is not the person that we are trying to talk about. Is the person, the owner of the dog. Now the fourth thing is make them active tools, not passive documents that you will now just dispose. Make them active tools. And please, I'm begging you, no more hipsters in coffee shop unless you are literally building a coffee shop application. So if you are not building a coffee shop application, I beg, drop it. So that's it for today. If you've had success with user personas, drop a comment sharing your tips. We need to learn from each other. And if you are struggling with getting your team to use personnel, let me know. Maybe we can tackle your specific challenge in a future video. Now it has gotten to that part. I think I'm always saying this. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. You know I'm always saying it. Let us be our brother's keeper and our sister's defender. Let us bring everybody to the fold. You get me? Let us go and do this evangelism work. Let us bring everybody to come and start watching our videos. All right. Until I see you next week, make sure you have a beautiful and an amazing week. Bye.